Did you know that a whopping 44% of teenagers in the United States have debt? Yes, you heard it right. The reality is as shocking as it sounds. The ties that bind these young individuals are woven from various forms of debt, including credit card dues, student loans, and even personal loans. This isn't just a problem for the here and now. This debt can trail behind them into adulthood, casting long shadows over their financial future. It can lead to instability, poor credit scores, and even limit opportunities that come their way. The consequences of teenage debt are far-reaching, potentially affecting crucial aspects of their lives such as housing and employment. But don't worry, it's not all doom and gloom. There are ways to overcome these financial challenges, and we're here to share a few inspiring stories. Meet Jack, who at 18 was knee-deep in credit card debt. Jack was your typical teenager, always ready for an adventure and eager to keep up with the latest trends. When he turned 18, he was handed his first credit card. With the world at his fingertips, he started splurging on gadgets, fast food, and even a new car. Before he knew it, he was sinking in a sea of debt, the weight of his financial mistakes pulling him down. For Jack, the wake-up call came when he realized he owed more than he was earning. He was working part-time at a local cafe, but his income was hardly enough to cover his bills, let alone his mounting debt. The interest rates were piling up, and Jack was spiraling into a financial abyss. But Jack's story doesn't end in despair. It's a tale of turning the tables, of resilience and redemption. Jack decided to take control of his finances. He started by acknowledging his mistakes. He realized that he had been living beyond his means and that his spending habits were not sustainable. He began by creating a budget, listing his income and expenses. He cut down on unnecessary expenditures, swapped his takeouts for home-cooked meals, and even sold his car to pay off a chunk of his debt. He made a plan to pay off his credit card debt, starting with the card that had the highest interest rate. He committed to paying more than the minimum payment each month. Jack also started educating himself about financial planning. He read books, watched videos, and even attended seminars. He learned about the importance of saving, investing, and living within his means. Jack's journey wasn't easy, and it took time, but he persevered, and slowly but surely he clawed his way out of debt. Jack's story shows us that it's never too early to start taking control of our finances. His tale is a stark reminder that while credit cards can be convenient, they should be used responsibly. It also underlines the importance of financial education, budgeting, and planning. So let's take a leaf out of Jack's book and strive to make smart financial decisions. Next up, we have Emily, a college student buried in student loans. Emily was like many college students, eager to learn and ready to take on the world. But as she navigated through her degree, she found herself sinking deeper and deeper into a sea of student loans. Every semester, the financial burden grew heavier. By the time she graduated, she was drowning in debt. She could barely see the surface, let alone the bright future she had imagined for herself. Emily knew she needed to make a change. She started by acknowledging her situation. She laid out all her loan statements, credit card bills, and receipts. The numbers were stark, but they were the reality she had to face. Then she turned to budgeting. Emily had always thought of a budget as a restrictive, joy-killing spreadsheet, but she soon realized that a budget was not a cage, but a map. It was a guide that could help her navigate her way out of debt and towards financial freedom. She started tracking her income and expenses, cutting back on non-essentials, and prioritizing her debt repayments. She also made some smart financial decisions. She consolidated her loans to take advantage of lower interest rates. She started a side hustle to bring in extra income. She even moved into a cheaper apartment and started cooking at home more often to save money. Slowly but surely, Emily began to see progress. Her debt mountain started to shrink and she could finally breathe again. It was a long journey, one that required discipline, sacrifice, and resilience. But Emily was determined to reclaim her financial freedom, one budget line at a time, and she did it. Today, Emily is debt-free. She's not just surviving, she's thriving. She's built an emergency fund, started investing for her future, and even plans to go back to school for her master's degree, this time without the burden of student loans. Emily's journey offers a powerful lesson about the importance of budgeting and planning. And it's a lesson we can all learn from. Remember, a budget isn't about restricting your life. It's about empowering it. It's about making your money work for you, not the other way around. Finally, let's take a look at Alex, a teenager who made some risky financial decisions. Alex was like any other teenager, full of dreams and aspirations. But he was also drawn to the allure of quick and easy money. He started using credit cards with reckless abandon, not realizing the long-term impact of his actions. Before he knew it, his debts were spiraling out of control. Alex's story could have ended there, as a cautionary tale of financial irresponsibility. But he decided to make a change. He recognized his mistakes and decided to take control of his finances. He sought help from financial advisors and began educating himself about money management. Alex started by creating a budget, something he had never thought of doing before. He divided his income into necessities, savings, and a small fraction for personal indulgences. He learned the importance of paying his debts on time to avoid high interest rates. He adopted frugal living habits, cutting out unnecessary expenses, and made a conscious effort to increase his income through part-time jobs. Debt management was a tough journey for Alex, but he was determined. He negotiated with his creditors to lower interest rates and create a feasible repayment plan. He prioritized his debts, focusing on paying off the ones with the highest interest rates first. He started using cash more often to avoid falling back into the credit card trap. Alex's journey from debt to freedom was not an easy one, but he persevered. He learned invaluable lessons about financial responsibility, budgeting, and debt management. His story serves as an inspiration for all teenagers, proving that it's never too late to turn your life around. Alex's experience is a testament to the fact that everyone deserves a second chance. His story is a powerful reminder that financial freedom is not just about making money, but also about making smart choices and taking responsibility for your actions. Today, Alex is debt-free and financially savvy, a shining example of how financial education can transform lives. So, what can we learn from these stories? Well, first off, we've seen that teenage debt is a very real issue. It's not just about buying the latest sneakers or the hottest video game. It's about understanding the value of money and making smart decisions with it. From our first story, we learned that it's possible to turn the tables on debt. It's not about the mistakes we make, but how we recover from them. By taking responsibility, learning about interest rates and repayment plans, we can fight back against debt. Our second story emphasized the power of budgeting. It's not just about counting pennies, it's about planning and being prepared for the unexpected. A budget is not a restriction, but a tool that gives you the freedom to spend wisely and save for the future. In the third story, we saw that everyone deserves a second chance. No matter how deep you're in debt, there's always a way out. It might require sacrifices and tough decisions, but with determination and a solid plan, you can regain control over your finances. And here are some practical tips for all of you. First, educate yourself about money. Read books, watch videos, take a class. Knowledge is power when it comes to finances. Second, start budgeting. It's simpler than it sounds. Just list down your income and expenses and make sure you're not spending more than you earn. Third, be mindful of your spending. Ask yourself if you really need that new gadget or if you're just buying it because it's trendy. Lastly, if you find yourself in debt, don't panic. Reach out for help. There are plenty of resources and people out there who can guide you through the process of debt management. Remember, your financial future is in your hands. Make smart decisions today for a debt-free tomorrow. Now it's your turn to take action. You've heard the stories, seen the triumphs. Now it's time to start your own journey from debt to freedom. Remember, every big change starts with a small step. Your first step could be as simple as creating a budget, or maybe it's about learning more about financial management. There are plenty of resources available to help you on this journey. Books, online courses, podcasts, blogs. The world is your oyster. And hey, don't forget to make use of the tools right here on YouTube. There are numerous channels dedicated to financial education, offering insightful tips and advice to guide you along the way. Why not share your own stories or tips in the comments section? We can all learn from each other, fostering a community that supports and uplifts. Together, we can tackle the challenge of financial freedom. Thanks for watching. Here's to a future free of debt.